Hello, everyone. This is Renee Cobb, the host of Overtones Live, and you are listening to Radiolex, the voice of the people, on WLXU 93.9 FM Lexington and streaming on radiolex.us. Music is in the air and on the air in Lexington this weekend as the Burl presents the Wooks album release show on Saturday, February 26th at 8 p.m. at the Burl. The Burl is a dedicated music venue located right in the heart of Lexington, Kentucky's Distillery District on 375 Thompson Road in Lexington, Kentucky. They will be appearing with the Dirty Grass Players, which is a newgrass bluegrass band from Baltimore, Maryland. So not only will you get to see Kentucky's The Wooks, but you will enjoy a full night of bluegrass music at the Burl right here in Lexington. The Wooks are officially on tour, which started, I believe, Thursday evening in Louisville, as they have embarked on a 27-stop tour across the country in the next 2 months. And to tell us more about that tour, their upcoming performance at the Burl, and their new release is CJ Cain, talking to us via phone today. CJ, welcome to WLXU.
Thanks for having me.
CJ, first of all, I've talked about the Wooks in this introduction, who, by the way, are a beloved and well-appreciated band by Lexington music lovers. Tell us about the Wooks' long history with delighting fans across the state, across the nation, and across the globe.
Yeah, we've been around for a while. Sort of started as a duo, and then eventually morphed into a full band, bluegrass instrumentation. And, a lot of different characters have made appearances with the book through the years. And we've got, this will be the first, Harry Clark has been our band player for a good amount of time, but this album here that's coming out flying high, his first appearance as the lead vocalist. It's actually also got my first, I've sang songs intermittently throughout our years, but this is the first recorded of my lead singing debut, so that's something to do. And we've got a lot of new material and a lot of, there's everything changes, a little bit, but you'll hear some things that remind you of old Wooks records, and then some things that maybe you might not have heard us do as well.
Well, outstanding. So, CJ, that's wonderful. But can you tell us also about some of the band members who have been with you all over the years, and then tell us who we will get to see on the Burl stage Saturday night?
Yeah, so like I said, we started as a duo. Me and Arthur Hancock, a good friend of mine. We kind of decided to make that into a five-piece band at some point in time with Jesse Wells, who now performs with Tyler Childers, and Roddy Puckett on bass that plays with Ben Branch, and Galen Green, who now lives in Charlottesville, Virginia, a good friend of ours. And, it's throughout the years, anytime you watch a band, there'll be some movement for sure. Jenny Lynn Gardner played some mandolin with us. You might be familiar with her through Della Mae.
Yes.
And that's actually how we met Harry. Through Jenny Lynn, she kind of referred him to us. And George Guthrie played probably his first show with the band was back in 2016 on banjo. Arthur was having some hand trouble and moved over to guitar. And George has been around a long time. This is also his first recorded recording with us as a lead vocalist as well. Been around a while, but it's like kind of funny. It goes by so quickly on you. It's hard to believe it really started in late 2014, I think. My childhood friend I grew up going to music festivals with when I was like 14, 15 years old from Boulder, Colorado. Mr. Alan Cook finally talked him into moving east of the Mississippi and joining the band as well. It's our first time I've ever been in a band with a dobro player, which is a really cool thing, and it's cool to play with someone that you had a long musical and long friendship with. To officially be in the band is a pretty cool thing too.
Wanting to mention also that as part of your Saturday performance, this brings an album release celebration to the Burl, and the band released a video to the title track Flying High for the album in December.
Jim Bob Meade was a switchman on the C&O train, rolling a line out of Paintsville till he got his watch and chain. Love ran him down like a possum on the track, spit him down the middle, he found his better half.
And it's an animated video by Josh Clark that follows a storyline that is near and dear to your heart in a very intricate, beautiful detail. What can you share with us in regards to the storyline of that video and why this story is so deeply connected to you, CJ?
Well, those characters are all real people, and it was a real plane crash in eastern Kentucky up in Morgan County where my dad is from, and my buddy Alan, he had an old airplane, you know, and he was going to show off to the family by flying over the family farm, and he figured out why he got a good deal on that airplane because he lost oil pressure and had to have a crash landing there in front of his family and cousins.
Now an Oakville girl can make you laugh till the tears run down your face. Climb a tree, make a cup of tea, play the Mozart number 8. Long before the railroad and the oh-so hit the can, Jim Bob went a-courting, he fell in love with Pam. Sometimes the plane goes down in the middle of the Johnson grass. Your mama, your daddy, your dear old granny's waving as you make the pass.
Everybody who was out there watching him, and kind of a stressful situation, but it turned out, you know, he made it through, and I got the tune out of it.
What goes up must come down, this I know is true. Be flying high till the day I die, so long as I'm holding you.
Josh was cool enough to like get on FaceTime with Pam and Jim Bob and some of the other characters in the song. We sent like videos and pictures and stuff, and I tried to allow him an opportunity to capture their personality, not just the way they look, but like how they smiled and acted and mannerisms. And he just really nailed it to be all the way out in California. He's never been to eastern Kentucky. You know, and these people have really interesting stories and are really dear to me, so it was just a great experience to kind of document all that.
Poor man's Charlie hustle, knock and hide right off the ball, flashing leather in the corner with a rifle for an arm. Love came falling down like a foul ball in the lights, till he never saw it coming, hit him right between the eyes.
And I've always wanted to do an animated video. It was, I always liked the cartoons growing up, like the Robin Hood Disney cartoon, and that was kind of the style that he went for with the animation.
Yes, and I agree with you, CJ. I'm a big fan of animation and videos, and as I watched this one, I was reminded again, like you said, about watching cartoons when I was younger. And I even remember some cartoons around the Jackson 5 and the Osmond Brothers. And it really reminded me about the wonder in an animated music video that was released by Jocelyn and the Sweet Compression and even Tyler Childers a few years back. And I know you've talked about this already, but please tell me a little bit more, or tell our audience a little bit more about what you feel animation does to the overall trajectory of storytelling in a song like Flying High.
Well, there's just like so many details of that song that maybe the listener might not understand where I was going with it, but the animation just makes is kind of clear as day. Like a good example in that song, there's some little details that I put in there. Like my buddy Jim Bob, he introduced me to this band Goose Creek Symphony, and specifically on vinyl. My dad had always collected records, but I'd never really sat down and listened to a vinyl. And one night, Jim Bob played me this record, and I decided to put that in the song. You know, the Oso, long before the railroad and the Oso hit the can. What I'm talking about, the Oso Special, which is the Goose Creek record, and Josh showed that record spinning on the turntable. I feel like that lyric would get completely lost in the mix, you know, but like that visual of that can kind of bring that out. Whereas, like, if we were just playing to the track in a typical music video, I couldn't really explain each individual line, you know. Also, like, an integral part of that song is the possum. Like, Jim Bob is a railroad man, and he always talked about how he thought it was weird that the possum would run on the rail, you know, instead of just getting out of the way, going left or right. They would run straight down the rail with the train going behind them. And I felt like that was a cool line, and I worked really hard to get that in there because his whole story was very animated about that. And it just stuck with me. And with the animation, it makes it clear. I feel like the audience is a little bit better than without it, you know.
Now a cherry pie and a jar of shine will make you think of Rose hollering out the window and talking on the radio. They disappear to the White Oak Hills in the Licking River. Come stumbling back in the witching hour with the leaves all in their hair. Sometimes a plane goes down in the middle of the Johnson grass. Your mama, your daddy, your dear old granny waving as you make the pass. What goes up must come down, this I know is true. Be flying high till the day I die, so long as I'm holding you.
CJ, we've all just reemerged after some harrowing, challenging, and very difficult experiences coming out of global pandemic. And while I'm growing very weary of asking pandemic-related questions to musicians, I would like to transition this interview into a more positive and forward-thinking, to the future style of a question like, what do you feel is next for the Wooks after they appear at the Burl, and where do you all see the band in possibly like 3 years?
I'm like clarity of predicting the future after the pandemic, you know. I think that's maybe a good thing, you know, to kind of learn that lesson. One thing the pandemic gives you, well, there's a lot of silver linings and a lot of bad things too, but one good thing is, like, you just kind of learn to look at it a little more day at a time. And because the landscape was changing just on you constantly. So if you, like, set your path on something, you're just asking to be disappointed. And I think, you know, I see us continuing to pursue music that means something to us. I mean, that's a really broad answer, but that's what's always worked for us.
Yes.
Is to try to write and play songs that make us happy, and that allows us to hopefully make that same connection with the audience and share that happiness. And, like, it's kind of like that's all I really, you know, see. Because everything else outside of that I've learned is not really up to me. And maybe that's a good thing, you know, like, pre-pandemic shows were so mentally, to me, like, now it's just like, you know, the things that you might complain about being on the road or that are tough, sometimes you're just like, you know, it wasn't so bad. And really puts it into perspective. And then also, some of the good things is you had some time to get home and rest and focus on music a little more than just beating up the road.
really thank you for being with us. Let me just kind of remind our audience and kind of close this interview segment with a quote from the Lexington Herald leader who said of the Wooks, "What has happened in largely organic fashion is a string music sound that recalls renegade innovators John Hartford and David Grisman, as much as roots-driven resources like Bill Monroe and Flatt and Scruggs, along with an improv-savvy interplay that endears the band to jam music fans and bluegrass traditionalists alike." And CJ, I know a lot of my friends will be in attendance at the Wooks at the Burl, that will be endearing to jam music fans and bluegrass traditionalists as well. At the Burl again on Saturday night at 8 p.m. And CJ, where can those fans who do not already have tickets or maybe want to learn more about the Wooks, where can they find information about the Wooks?
Our website, Workout America, is a good place to go for that. And then that's also our social media handle, at Workout America. You can find any information you need there.
Well, excellent. And again, everyone, this is Renee Cobb from Overtones Live on Radiolex, WLXU 93.9 FM, and CJ Cain. And we are so incredibly pleased and honored that all along your magnificent tour and journey, that our musical paths have crossed today. And I want to thank you for talking with us today about the Wooks tour and the album release show at the Burl on Saturday night.
Thank you for having me today.